I am so glad you are here today. Should be a fun day. I know I'm alone again. It's not intentional. Hopefully, the guest will be able to join us online. Cross your fingers, right? So, I thought I'd start with what's coming up and what's exciting. We, of course, have Standing Stones this weekend. I will go over their schedule for the rest of the month in a little bit. Um, And then on Sunday the 16th, we will have Reiki 1. So if you are ready to start that Reiki journey, sign up. It's always a nice time. The length of the class really depends on how many first degree initiations we're doing in the class, because that can really lengthen your opportunity for meditation and practice. But regardless, we go through the nuts and bolts. We start playing with the energy, we go through the attunements, and we play with the energy to see how it feels. Of course, tonight I'll be teaching Herbalism Year 2. That's lovely. Um, that class is progressing nicely, and if you're interested in joining our herbal program, it starts in September, and Year 1 will most likely be on Tuesday evenings in this coming September. Meets for 9 months, every night for an hour or two. Next, coming up, we will have an astrology class on Thursday the 20th. This is an after hours by donation class. It's being taught by Adam the astrologer, none other than, right? Should be a treat. He really gets into all the aspects of astrology very deeply, and he has studied it for decades. He's a true community resource. So I would come and check out the class. Do sign up if you're interested. You can find it on our website, magusbooks.com. On the 22nd, because I couldn't get into Paganacon, which broke my heart. I mean, I went there the day that the vending opened for signups, and it was full. So we'll be doing a little spring celebration here. I'll probably stop in. Maybe we'll do a guided meditation or an impromptu ritual. I love those. We'll also have an aura photographer here. She'll be making her first visit with us, and she'll have several options for your aura photograph if you would like one. A couple different price options dependent on interpretation, size, factors like that. Should be loads of fun. She'll be here from 3 to 6, which I'm really looking forward to. On Sunday the 23rd, Palmistry 101. There's 4 classes in that series. Chris, again, amazing resource for the community, has spent decades studying palmistry. Well, I can give you a rundown of your basics. He knows so much. It's so in depth. And of course, you're going to get your palm read while you're in the class. He's not going to be able to resist. So it's a great by donation class on the 23rd at 4 p.m. Then we've got the Reiki Share on the last Sunday of March. That's on the 30th. So if you have your Reiki first, second, or third, and you just want to do a little tradesies, come by. It's always fun. Sometimes we have a couple people, sometimes we have more, but it's always a good time. We do it here, right here in the gallery classroom. I promised I would give you the lowdown on the Standing Stones schedule. So we are out of the crazy arrows and changing of order of subjects. So this Saturday, they're going to be talking about magical ethics and responsibility. And on the 29th, the last Saturday in March, they'll be doing meditation and the magical mind. That should be a really good one. Ethics important, the meditation and the magical mind should be an excellent topic. And as always, if you're looking for divine guidance, we've got Doc Murphy doing tarot readings, 1 to 6 on Sundays. Paul offering dream interpretation 2 to 6 on Mondays. Ravenwolf is doing tarot readings from noon to 3 on Tuesdays. And I am so happy to say that our Wednesday and Thursday tarot reader has gotten a full-time job. So I now have a couple openings for a tarot reader, and a couple people I believe will be scheduling some auditions soon. But if you're interested, call me and we'll get an audition booked and we'll see how you do. But Friday, Ravenwolf is here from 1 to 4. And Saturdays, Ravenwolf is here from noon until 2. And Kenneth takes over from 3 until 6. So it's a fun time. I've got all my lovely flyers here. Did I cover everything? Reiki 1 on the 16th, palmistry on the 23rd. Oh, Gateway to the Gods comes up first thing next month. That'll be the first Sunday of the month, and we will look at one of our entheogenic herbs in depth. We'll have a sample. We'll have a guided meditation once that's had time to activate in your system, should you choose to participate in the sample. And of course, check us out on all the socials. Here we are, YouTube, Facebook, Blue Sky, TikTok, and Instagram. Instagram's arguing with us lately, so if you're not seeing us there, I apologize, and we keep working on it. We'll see where we get to, but I have some fun stuff to show you guys for now. I am sad to say that Nicole, our beautiful crochet person, is stepping away from crochet. So I have these adorable little purses, and I have the adorable little mushroom pouches, which there's a little holder in there, right? This is what she's got here. I've told her she can leave them here and we'll just send her a check periodically, or she can come pick them up. So if you loved these and wanted them, I'd recommend coming and grabbing them while they're here. It's got a bunch of different color options, and they're adorable. I also want to warn you that we've got a couple other things that we're just about out of. Sadly, this is the last rainbow pouch I've got. I love these because they've got a nice wide base. They're super easy to get into and out of, and you can stick it on a belt loop if you want. And if you don't want to use the cinch as how you're holding it, it becomes a shoulder bag. It's wonderful. I do love these. But this is the last one I've got in this style. So if you had your eye on it, now's the time. And we're starting to run out of these as well. Now, both these bags, both this bag with the ring and the rainbow bag, these are both from Jerry, who consigned things with us for many years. Wonderful person to work with, and she imported things. So these were made somewhere outside of the US, and she imported them. She is now retired, and she brought us her back stock. So I'm afraid when this stuff is gone, it's gone. So I've got a few of these left. Most of them are this color and style. I've got one that's like a patchworky style. I've got one of the rainbow bags left, and then we're out of them. I also wanted to show off, just in case you missed it, when I first talked about it a few weeks ago, our Minnesota-made Florida water is back in stock. She got over her illnesses. She's healthy again, so she's making it again. And she brought us a couple dozen bottles. So we should have it for a minute, but come grab yours. She's also got a couple of oils. She had one out last time, and she's now got 2 oils that she's produced. So these are in nice little bottles. They smell wonderful. She's done a great job with them. Heart's Desire is the one that's been here the longest, so I recommend checking them out. And I thought I would show off some of the books that have come in this week. Some are oldies but goodies. Some are relatively new. What is Remembered Lives. I think this is an important book. It's over in our Celtic and our Wiccan section. Mostly because Phoenix Lafayette does a lot of stuff centered in Celtic things, from what I can gather. And it is about honoring ancestors, spirits of those who've gone by, whether they are your blood relatives or your family of choice relatives. And it talks about how basic techniques can help us to remember our loved ones and give new life to their spirits by telling their stories and their tales. So I recommend this one. It's a very thoughtful book. Oldie but goodie that's come back, Avalon Within. This is a really nice book on Celtic spirituality. If you're interested at all, I do recommend it. This is about the sacred quest of life. Really nice book. If you're looking to goof around, Kitchen Witch. This is Cooking with the Kitchen Witch. This is by Patricia Telesco. This is an infamous Llewellyn publication, but it give you a hoot to go through and check out recipes in. And then one that has also come back in that I'm fond of is the African Cowrie Shell Divination. Now there is some evidence that what sparked this practice were Chinese traders who were sailing along. Ooh, somebody's calling me. I don't know who. So sorry. It says potential spam. I'm just going to have a little musical background for a minute. So there are people who think that the Chinese were exploring their world and sailing along the coastline, going around India and down the coast of Africa, probably not getting past the Cape of Good Hope right at the bottom, but introducing a very early form of I Ching as they traveled. What a great way to make friends, right? Entertain them with little divination practice. And there are those that think that that sparked the development of this. I don't know if that's true. It's entirely possible. We know that I Ching predates those explorations. We know that. But I don't know if the influence worked entirely in one direction or if it was already in existence and they just traded ideas and maybe took from each other things that the other culture hadn't thought of. A nice exchange of concepts, which is a beautiful thought. And the last thing I have to show you guys, the very last piece, I don't have a lot of these, but I will make more. Grab bags are back. So what do you call a witch? In the desert. I can see it. Gotta come in and read the back side of the bag to get the answer to the riddle. But a nice grab bag for 11:11. Can't promise they'll stay 11:11, but I'm doing my best by you guys to get some fun stuff going. There is a distinct possibility the shop might be moving in the next few months. I will definitely keep you posted, and I will make all kinds of announcements as soon as it's official, should it get to that stage. But be on the lookout for those. And in the meantime, what should we talk about, folks? My first thought is spring equinox is coming up, no matter what you call it, and we should talk a little bit about that. If you're going to celebrate it, I'd love to hear more about that. And I'd also love to hear what you do. Now, I know for my household, since I've got a teenager at home, we have always celebrated the sabbats with him separate from everything else. We've always made them family events. Honestly, getting a little bit of a gift, maybe more than a book, because I would get him a book at every full moon for years while he was little. Getting a little gift, having a little party, a special little celebration where we talk about Mama Moon and Papa Sun in our house seems like a little decent compensation for the fact that his parents are weird. And there's no escaping that we're weird. We're not going to be the most socially normative people on the planet. And he's got to live with that. He's got to live with that in school. That can be a tough row to hoe for some kids. So celebrating the Sabbat was always something we really valued. And we tended to take the philosophy that spring equinox, when the day and night become equal in length, that is about walking over a threshold, walking through a doorway from a state of making your plans, gathering your energies, getting ready to really take action, and now into a phase of life, a phase of the year where we take more action. Maybe we start planting seeds in cups or do a little bulb forcing to get a daffodil or something up and running. But we do something to commemorate. So we definitely hunt for little plastic eggs filled with jelly beans and chocolates. We definitely find Easter baskets or spring equinox baskets, if you will. Those things definitely predate Christianity's use of them. So we love those, hiding chocolate bunnies and hiding eggs full of little bits of candy that we like. For us, it's usually like malted milk balls done as Easter eggs, jelly beans done as Easter eggs. Some years the jelly beans have been odd, and some years they've been standard, and some years they've been fruity exclusively. Why? Because nobody in my house wants to eat the coconut or the black licorice ones. So rather than throwing them out, we just buy jelly beans that don't include those flavors. We've often favored a particular brand that I like, but I can't always find it these days, so we don't always get it, unfortunately. But we fill those baskets, we fill those eggs, we go on that hunt that morning, and it's a lot of fun for us. And it's about spring, and it's about renewal, and it's about being able to get going with more activities and more stuff happening. And I know we're coming up with a little bit of an astrological thing where maybe that's not going to be the most productive thing like this week, next week. But spring's coming up not this weekend, but next weekend. So when that's all gone, it'll be an interesting spring equinox, a good time to put new plans into motion. We'll often talk about a series of stories that I would, just extemporaneous stories that I would make up and tell our son when he was very small, included the idea of there starting to be a helper for the Mama Moon. Mama Moon starts getting help from her little boy. Perfect family, right? For this. So that now there's a little helper, and he is going to be with her and accompany her, usually through August Eve or Lammas, that August 1st celebration, which is always fun too. So we've always gotten him some toys and gifts when he was a kid, like 12 and under, and we've always done a little bit of running around looking for eggs. Now, this is Minnesota. It's not warm enough every year for it to be a good choice to do this outside from my first thing in the morning, especially from my perspective. But this year's pretty warm, so there's a good chance if the weather's going to play nice, I might move it outside this year. Now, I have heard of other traditions. The comedian Kathleen Madigan talks about hunting for eggs that's similar to ours, that they've stuffed with candies and things. And that as the kids have aged, as all of her nieces and nephews have aged up into, high school age, young adulthood, she's been stuffing some lottery tickets, some scratch offs into those Easter eggs, just to make it a little more engaging for the older kids. And I think that's a great creative solution to keeping people engaged. Change the task enough that it's more developmentally appropriate. Does, my 15-year-old want a bunch of candy? Maybe they'd rather I rolled up a $20 bill in one of those. I don't know. Can't fit a gift card in, so I'm not doing that. But I like that idea of having seed money, having a spark that you've nurtured, that we relit the world at Yule, right? The sun came back. We gathered some energy in February Eve or Feast of Torches or Imbolc, whatever you're calling it. And now we're going to put that energy, we're going to take that energy and we're going to invest it into our world to make our world a better place. Whether that's you start a little garden inside or out. I mean, some places you can definitely be gardening now. For us, it's probably smarter to start seedlings indoors if we're going to do that and be prepared to move them outside later. Starting a new project, though, is a great way to do this. Say you guys have talked about some kind of crafting project that you want to do together as a family. This could be the time you do it. Even if you're a family of one, you're living on your own, you're like, I always wanted to try knitting. Now's the time, maybe. Consider that new project. Or I really want to get back to doing a daily meditation. Now's a good time to reinforce, especially reinforcing any like New Year resolutions that maybe you let go by the wayside. It's time to maybe get back up on that horse and try again. Nothing wrong with a New Year's resolution. Nothing wrong with falling out of your New Year's resolution. It's not really whether or not you're going to fall out of a resolution. It's much more what you do in response. If you completely give up because you missed a day, it fails. If you get back on that horse and you start again, you continue on that journey, then the resolution holds and you win. You get new commitment. And about once every 6 weeks, it's pretty normal to get a little pushback, like every 6 to 8 weeks. And lo and behold, how far apart are these sabbats? About 8-ish weeks, right? So it's just the right time to go, oh, let's get back on that horse. Let's do it again. I think that's a fantastic approach. I know that for our household, there are some projects that are in the planning stages right now for some independent study for high school, for my kid, and I'm anticipating seeing more action, less planning over the next couple of weeks. So magically timed to coincide with the spring equinox. So I love me some spring. I love celebrating these things. I will often, in years past, I would often make a particular candy for a Sabbat. I'm not doing it that much right now, but I could totally see doing marshmallow eggs that I can maybe consider dipping in chocolate if I'm in the mood. And if you've never made your own marshmallows, I totally recommend looking up how to do it. It's super easy. And if you are concerned about, oh, I don't know how to make an egg shape, super simple. Get a cooking, like a baking pan of some kind, doesn't have to be very big. Fill it with cornstarch. Take the back of a large egg-shaped spoon, like a standard shaped spoon, and press it in to make a mold. And you have your egg shape. You'll be able to have that flat egg that you can pour that marshmallow foam into. Super easy to make marshmallows, by the way, and because you make them with Jell-O, you can use any flavor of Jell-O that you like and make any flavor marshmallow you like. So I totally recommend. It's hot, hot sugar. Don't do it with tiny kids. I did not do marshmallows when my kid was like a toddler and could get underfoot without me noticing fast enough. Not that I've ever spilled the sugar, the molten sugar that's used in making marshmallows, but it's definitely molten sugar and you want to be safe. So I do it when the kid's not in the room, not in the house, or do it with an older child in the house, somebody who's, fourth, fifth, sixth grade or older. Those are some of the funnest ones to do. Of course, truffles for Beltane, right? That's easy. That'll be the next holiday. Midsummer, sometimes I do jellies, so like fruit jellies, strawberry jelly candies. These are the ones in a chocolate mix box that they're like extra hard jelly. That's really what they are. And I just go through the year, sabbat cycle by sabbat cycle, making those different candies. Sometimes they're very herbal, sometimes they're very experimental. We've done Guinness truffles, they were delicious. A little bit like having Guinness punch, which if you've never had, totally look up the recipe. It's delicious. And one of my favorite like summer beverages or late summer beverages too. Yum. In any event, that's what we're planning on for the Sabbath. We've talked about it. We're going to do a little bit of a hunt for some candies and things, contemplating whether I should maybe origami up some bills of some kind, maybe a few $5 bills, so he finds some stuff in addition to some cash in addition to the candy. And maybe we'll go out to dinner, or maybe we'll cook together and make a nice meal. That's, I think, a wonderful way to celebrate any of the Sabbats or the full moons for that matter. I know that for me, celebrating with the full moon usually means getting together with the coven. We might or might not get together right now for Sabbats, but there's a lot going on in our lives, and that's understanding and fair. It's different when you're not dealing with aging parents, teenage children, all of those wonderful things. And we love our parents, and we are all ready to step into that breach should that moment come for any of them, as unfortunately it did for one of our parents, not mine, but one of our parents. So we're taking it easy. We're as a group, we're playing it by ear and making sure we're getting enough rest and time to recover and think about things, and so much going on right now. Well, got a little bit more time, so I wanted to cover one more topic. I hope you guys don't mind. I know last week I moved up a topic I was going to talk about in 2 weeks about herbs for serious ailments and the precautions that you might need to take. I want to reemphasize just for a moment that if you are going to do that for a serious illness or a long-term medication for whatever reason, if you can, find a good herbalist in your area, preferably one who has already worked with these issues to some extent, and go slowly and carefully. That one aside, let me remind you guys that I've got posts now for every day of the week. So we do this one, the long one, on Wednesdays. The rest of the posts are 5 minutes long, and you will definitely find them on YouTube and Facebook. If you don't run across them on YouTube, look for Magus Books and Herbs, and you'll find us. You'll see the live. I then repost the live. And now I am very happy to say the software I use to simulcast these to Facebook and YouTube does pulls shorts for me. So now I'm looking at those. Any of the ones I like, I'm posting. Some of them are very goofy, and I'm not posting those. But in the meantime, know that we are going to be getting in some new witch balls. So if you're looking for that kind of protection, it's on its way, probably coming in the next couple of Sundays. We will be continuing to put out different bags and scarves for Jerry. I do have other bags out there that are Jerry's, and I've got more in storage. However, because we may be moving, I don't have that much in storage here in the store at the moment. Some of it is in a transition space that will make it easier for us to move into our new space if we sign a lease. And we're not there yet, which is why this is not the formal announcement. We will have her Florida water, her sage spray, and her 2 oils that she's got going on. One's for prosperity and one's heart's desire. And of course, come and grab those grab bags when you can. They will be loads of fun. I toted up the value. They were all worth somewhere in that $30 to $35 range. So as I can't keep it below that $30 mark, that's why the next round might be worth a little more and have to go up a little in price. So you might see some 1111s, which is what I've got now. You might see some 1313s coming up, but it's all good. And of course, I should show off the jewelries of the day. This is a beautiful amazonite ring from Tracy's collection. Wonderful collection of rings. And this one looks like it's an amethyst. Look how beautifully dark that amethyst is. Isn't that gorgeous? The quality of the stones are just outstanding in these. I really do recommend them. And these are from Tracy's collection, something that she kept with her after her shop closed and eventually brought here while she was reading here. Now she'll be reading here again for those of you who miss her as much as I do, but she is recovering from another medical procedure that is all about self-care for her and improving the quality of her life. We're very excited that she's getting to do this, but it does require at least a 3-month hiatus from much of anything. And she's even got somebody helping her out from the community. Love that guy. Thanks so much for that, for all of you. So she's still up online. You can still catch her posting things. So definitely drop her a line, wish her well, wish her a speedy recovery. That way she can come back and join us again. She might not ever join us again, though, at this location. So if we do move to the space that I'm thinking about right now, the classroom gallery will be a little bit smaller, and the floor store might be a little bit smaller, kind of shrinking back to about the size we were before, but with a more substantial classroom. It should be really good. It should be a really good transition if this works out. And I hopefully will know more within about 2 weeks. So I might not be making an announcement next Wednesday, but perhaps the Wednesday after. So stay tuned and check out these lives, and whether you're doing it now or on the rebound, and hopefully we'll have really wonderful news very soon. So I know it's a bit early, but I am going to sign off. Hopefully you guys can come and grab your aura photography on the 22nd on Saturday from 3 to 6. But for now, this is Liz at Megas Books and Herbs in Minneapolis and megasbooks.com, wishing you a wonderful week. Blessed be.